Hello everyone, now this is a very quick video to have a look at this. It's an Android Wear watch and it's by Tag Heuer. And this is the Tag Heuer Connected. Now this isn't an item that I bought myself, this is one that I have borrowed. So let's take it out of the container, which is sort of a plasticky container that it comes in. And let's have a look at it. Now this is one of these round Android watches, which I have to say I quite like. I quite like the look of a round display. It just seems slightly more natural. However, when you start to use these devices, you realise that perhaps the square or rectangular look for a watch is slightly more practical it's more useful perhaps for devices that really are little mini computers on your wrist. But let's have a look at this watch anyway. As you can see, I've got the display turning off. Now this does have an option on it to enable the display to stay on. Let's go into there we go, settings. And you can actually set this, there we go, always on. So I'm going to set that now, always on. Now if I press the side button and come back out, when this now goes to sleep, you'll see what it does. I would say the sort of battery life on this is very similar to the other smartwatches that are available. Now there we are, you can see what it's done now. Instead of completely the screen display completely disappearing, it does show a slightly darkened version of a very basic watch with no complications on it, and just the second hand, which I don't think is going round actually. No, it's not. But it's showing you the time anyway, which is the most important thing. And I suppose that's the one criticism of, say, for example, the Apple Watch, where the display turns off to save battery life. And that means you can't just have a little surreptitious glance at your watch to see what the time currently is. And that's probably my biggest annoyance with it. Other than that, I really like the Apple Watch. If I tap the screen... Oh, hello. Oh, I had to push the side button then it's now come back to life. Oh, actually, that was a timer. That wasn't the second hand actually. That was the sort of stopwatch on the side there. That's what it was. I thought that was a second hand. It's not. So let's do that again, and you'll see that when the spoon goes away, there we go, and it's just showing the time. So that's quite nice. Now, as far as this watch goes, it's quite thick and chunky. The strap is reasonable quality as well. Underneath here it's a bit plasticky really for my liking for a watch, and we'll come on to the cost of it in a moment. For a watch that costs this amount of money, you'd expect it perhaps to feel a little bit more premium maybe. Perhaps I'm being unkind, but it is, I don't know, what, 5 times the cost of an Apple Watch, of a Apple Watch Sport, and you'd expect perhaps that it would feel more premium. But yeah, okay. It's I think you're paying a lot for the name, but other than that, this is a fairly sort of standard. They do actually, Tag do have some unique items just for their watch, and there is a companion app in the Google Play, which is for Tag Heuer Connected. So you will get some items for this that are specific for the Tag watch. Like a lot of watches do these days. There's a lot of sort of fitness bits and pieces on there, maps and what have you, reminders and things. There's Skype, there's stopwatch. Let's go into stopwatch, just so that we can say that we've gone into something slightly different. So it's starting up, and again, this looks really nice. I think the round face sort of suits this kind of activity. I press the start button. Now that's, looks reasonable. It's not a bad. This display actually is 320 by 320 pixels, I believe. So I don't know whether the clarity of this display is really any better. It's certainly, I wouldn't say premium. I think this is a good opportunity to perhaps bring in the Apple Watch. We can put them side by side so you can just kind of have a look. And that's gone to sleep there now. So there's the display on the Apple Watch. I quite like the Apple Watch where you tap on the side button there in WatchOS, and you get this sort of dock thing, and that's really good. I like that. I think that's a really good addition to the WatchOS. it kind of makes it a bit easier to use. The thing I found with the Android Wear Watch, I've had it for a couple of weeks, I suppose, and I find I just don't know which button to press, and I just find it a little bit confusing where things are. It's just not very well organised. However, that's all down to the operating system, and Android Wear is perhaps not as a mature operating system as WatchOS, so it will improve. Of course, it will. So let's just go back. Let's go back to the main screen there. Well, there we are then. This was only just a very quick look at Android Wear and about this tag Heuer Connected watch, which now won't come back to life. Oh, there we go. I'm going to stop that stopwatch now and reset it, and now tap the button again and go back to the main screen. So there we are. Let's swipe through for comparison purposes. Let's swipe through and find one of the watch faces on the Apple Watch. Come on. Oh, there we go. That's got so there's the Android Wear Watch face, which is slightly more complex perhaps looking, and there's the Apple Watch. I would have to say, though you can't really make it out on this video, that the Apple Watch display I think has better clarity. It's certainly of a higher quality screen than this tag watch with its 320 by 320 screen. However, it's not unpleasant to look at. If you only had the tag watch, then you'd probably be quite happy with it, I suspect. But would you pay that amount of money? Because the tag watch is massively, so much more expensive to buy. So that's a very quick look at the tag Heuer Connected Android Wear Watch, and just a very quick comparison with the quality of the display on the Apple Watch. This is an Apple Watch Series 1. By way of a comparison, the Android Wear Watch is somewhere in the region, I think the retail price is about £1,600. You can get it for about £1,200. Whereas an Apple Watch, I mean, you can pick up one, or Series 1 watch is very cheap now, but even the new Series 2 in the sport, what, about a fifth of that price, a fifth of the price of the tag? So I would question whether, if you've got bottomless pits of money, if you're a Premiership footballer and money doesn't mean anything to you, then you probably buy the tag. If you're a normal person, I think price-wise, you go for the Apple Watch, but it's early days for this tag. Well, this is the very first one. I just thought it would be, for the price tag, a little bit more premium perhaps. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that very, very quick video to look at the Android Wear tag Heuer Connected and a little comparison of the screen with the Apple Watch Sport Series 1. Thanks for watching. As usual, you can contact me on Twitter, Instagram, various social media, and of course don't forget to check out my blog. Details are on screen now. Thanks for watching. See you next time.